everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me on this second video of 3 that is looking at those students that are learning with a family member and therefore taking the driving test in their own car. In this second video, we will be looking at the driving test itself. So for what happens from the minute you arrive at the test centre to the examiner coming out and calling your name to the very end of your test and everything else in between. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's start off by arriving at the test centre. Now, if like Wakefield, it has its own test centre with parking facilities, you can only arrive 5 minutes before your actual test. If, however, your driving test centre is located in a high street or in a parade of shops, for example, you can arrive pretty much whenever you like. So, first things first. If you find it's got its own purpose-built building, best thing is to do as you arrive into the car park is to do a reverse bay park at the very start, so that when you are coming out with the examiner, you're driving out and there is less work to do. So you've arrived, you've parked, whether it's a purpose-built building or you're on the main road. What I would perhaps suggest doing is just give the car a very quick clean with antibacterial wipes, again, to make sure it's smelling and looking fresh. Also, make sure that the windows are slightly down, and if you're able to park in a driving test centre, I would also suggest leaving one or even both of the doors open. Now, be careful how you do that. What you don't want to do is leave your doors open, and so the other car that arriving can't park. So again, just judge that one. But I think if the car parks pretty empty, I would just keep one of your doors open. Then at your test time, the examiner will walk out of the building or walk to the outside to meet you, and they will call your name. The first thing that they're going to do is ask for your provisional license. And at that point, as they're checking your license over, they will ask you to sign a declaration that just states that you are insured for the vehicle that you arrived in and that you are a UK citizen. Some examiners, I know in Wakefield, are asking you to walk back to your car to place your provisional licence on the car seat so they can check it without having to touch it. But that's just only a couple of examiners here in Wakefield. So once you've done the declaration signing, at that point, the examiner will ask you to read a number plate from approximately 20 metres away. And again, that's fairly straightforward. Once you've done that, they will then ask you to walk towards the car that you've arrived in, and at that point you're going to get your first tell me question, and I'll put a link below in the description area to a copy of both the tell me questions and also the show me questions. I think when it comes to that section, for me, I just make sure that my students are really confident with the answers and they know exactly what they're going to be asked. Because if you think about it, that's the examiner's first impressions of you. I think if you're a little bit, they're going to expect nerves, but I think if you can confidently reel off the answer, that's kind of a good first impression. And I think it really kind of sets the scene about how prepared that you are for your actual driving test. So again, you'll get your tell me question done. And at that point, the examiner will perhaps quick walk around the vehicle just to make sure that it's got 4 wheels, it looks in good condition, and all the time you're pretty much stood outside because they're trying to minimise the amount of time that you are sat in the car. What happens then is the examiner will then do a very quick clean of his or her side of the vehicle, so perhaps clean the seatbelt, the door handle, and anything that they may come in contact with. Once they've done that, they'll invite you to sit in the car, and at that point you will get your debrief, which states something like, the test lasts between 38 and 40 minutes. Now, again, if you break all that down, actually, there's quite a few parts to the driving test, which we'll go through in a bit. Actually, the driving test, really, the driving part of it, is only probably a good half an hour, 35 minutes. It's not actually the full 40 minutes because that takes into account the starting bit, the admin and all paperwork at the beginning, and then all the bit at the end. Obviously, fingers crossed that you pass your driving test. So, test lasts 38 to 40 minutes. There'll be 20 minutes of independent driving, either following a sat-nav or following a series of road signs. There will be 1 manoeuvre from 4. You may be asked to do the emergency stop, and that's 1 in 3 tests. So you may or may not be asked to do that. And what he might or she might then go on to say is, throughout the drive, follow the road ahead unless you're in the independent section. And if you're outside the independent section and the examiner wants to turn left or right, they'll give you plenty of warning. That's pretty much it. At that point, examiner will ask you for any questions. And if you're not, then you're pretty much off you go. And that's the start of your driving test. So during your driving test itself, you will be required to wear a face covering, and you're able to, if you find it uncomfortable after a while, you can actually pull over and stop, adjust it. But again, you must wear it throughout the test itself. So if you are learning with a family member, mum or dad, you might not be wearing a face mask as you have been practicing for the driving test. So my advice would be, for the last few lessons, just get used to wearing a face covering so that it's not going to be a new experience on the day of your test, and it just makes you a little bit more anxious, a little bit more hotter, and so you're kind of just ready for it. So throughout the test itself, as I mentioned, there's quite a lot of things happening. So your manoeuvre's going to be in there. You're going to have to drive independently for 20 minutes. But what also you're going to be asked to do is to park on the left in a safe place up to about 4 different occasions. So it's probably worth, whilst you're getting ready for your test, to practice parking up in a safe place. One of the occasions the examiner might ask you to do it is on a hill, for a bit of a hill start. And the other occasion, he might ask you, or she might ask you, to park up behind another parked vehicle, roughly leaving the space of a car length. And maybe if it's going to block a driveway, he or she will give you permission to block a driveway. So what they're seeing you there is how you then take off an angle and how you then negotiate getting round that vehicle, and obviously not getting too close. One thing that often does affect how the test goes is the interaction with the examiner. Certainly in all my years, this is my 7th year doing this job now, I've had no real issues with examiners. They're all very different in their approach. Some you may find will have a bit of a chat with you. Some will perhaps say very few things at all. What I would suggest doing is just focusing on exactly what you need to do, and that's to drive safely and legally. In the next video that I'm going to be making, I'm going to be putting out some tips and some hints on how to get through the driving test, and that's definitely one thing I'm going to be talking about. But in terms of the examiner, they actually record the test now on a tablet. It used to be a paper copy and you got a copy at the end of it, but now it's on a tablet. They're going to be constantly recording everything that you're doing. It doesn't mean to say, if you kind of peer over and you see them kind of making a mark or making a note of something, it doesn't mean necessarily that you have got a driving fault or a serious or dangerous fault. They also record the things that you have done. So once you've done, you pull up on the left, he or she will put a little mark on the tablet, so you've done that. After you manoeuvre, the same thing, they're recording that as well. After the independent face, they're going to put a little mark down as well. So like I say, they're constantly recording the things that you have done. So when the form goes back to DVSA, it's just showing that you have completed every element of the driving test. So when it comes to the examiner, try not to kind of peer over and have a look at what they're writing. To be fair, the tablet has actually got a kind of a film on it that so you can't see any of the markings or the recordings on the actual report, which is a good thing. But also, don't kind of peer over and kind of second guess, well, they've made a little mark there, does that mean that I've failed? Does that mean I've got a minor? Just kind of block what they're doing and focus on exactly what's happening, what's coming up next, what SatNav's doing, and just focus on what you need to do, and that is getting through that test safely and legally. Okay, so with the current restrictions that we have in place, if you were to fail your test, hopefully you won't do that, the examiner will ask you to come back to the test centre early. So again, you don't complete the full route itself. Okay, so let's say you've done your 35-40 minutes of your test and you arrive back at the test centre. If you've not been asked to do a driving manoeuvre, the examiner will ask you to drive into the bay and therefore complete a reverse bay park if your test centre has its own dedicated parking spaces. Which means, if you think about it, that at that point you have currently passed your driving test and it all hinges on you completing the reverse bay manoeuvre safely and in full control. Now again, I'll put a link above to a video I put together on the driving manoeuvres, so again, check those out. Okay, so let's say you again arrive back after 35-40 minutes and you've done a manoeuvre already. So you've had the parallel, or you've done the park on the right, or you've done the forward bay. The examiner will then ask you to direct you into a space. Again, do it the best you can, but you're not getting marked on that because you've done your manoeuvre already. Again, if your test centre doesn't have its own spaces, again, the examiner will look for a parking space somewhere near the test centre. At that point, you've parked up, the examiner will ask you to switch off your engine and get comfortable, and they will then give you the feedback and give you the results pretty much straight away. Now again, fingers crossed, obviously we're looking for a pass, and at that point what they will do is ask if they can send your provisional license away for you, and I would say yes on this one, because that means that they're going to do all the hard work, and all you have to do is wait for your full license to arrive back in the post roughly a week or 10 days later. But the implications of that is obviously if you pass your test, you will then not be insured on your car to drive home. So the accompanying driver, family member, will have to drive home with you. It does happen very quickly because of it's a 40-minute test and there are about 7 tests every day. Everything happens quite quickly. But it does mean that, on the day of your test, you'll be able to drive a vehicle as long as it meets the tax, MOT'd, and has a relevant insurance. Okay, so that's a little bit about what's going to happen on the day. In the next video I'm going to put together, that's more about some hints and some tips about how to get you through your driving test successfully. So again, stay tuned for that one. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching this one with me. What would be fantastic is if you could subscribe to the channel and then press the bell icon for future video notifications. Okay, thanks again for watching. Take care, and I'll see you soon.